All right, welcome to yet another update. As usual, I have my notes here, so let's get started. So, a lot of things happened this week. This was mostly, or it was supposed to be an outreach week, so outreaching to both buyers and sellers, which we did. I started paying someone on Fiverr, ironically, to outreach to agencies. So I gave her like a list of agencies. She'd go to their sites, to the contact form, and basically submit the message I told her to submit. The message had like a Loom video, so I can basically track how many views the Loom has, and basically track like the success of the campaign. But so far, nobody has reached out yet from those agencies. I've also hired someone else to reach out to potential sellers. So I gave her like a list of criteria. For instance, they have to be influential in the space, but not more than 5 or 10K followers, so they're not too out of reach. They need to sell either courses online or anything else, basically to be able to qualify for this, for what you're looking for, basically, because we don't want, we want a very specific type of seller. So yeah, we don't just want like influencers that don't sell anything online. They need to have like a following, they need to sell something to their following, so that when they come to Vettted, both they and us can leverage their following. Sorry. Some not so good news. We had like our site down, not the site, but the continue button on the services down for like maybe 16 hours, and we only noticed when we started getting emails. So yeah, that was a no bueno, but it's all fixed now. It was pretty stressful because Afonso couldn't figure out what was happening. Eventually he did, and it's all fixed now. But yeah, we had the button down for about 16 hours, which was not good, but yeah, things happen. Then I also met a guy, a pretty influential guy. I won't say his name, but he works in the SEO space. He's pretty good at what he does. I had like a 3-hour call with him, 2 hours and 45 minutes, and he basically, for free, went over our site, went over our traffic sources, gave us a bunch of recommendations on what we should do, where we should take Vettted. Basically a free consulting call, I guess. He showed me a bunch of case studies he worked on, a bunch of clients he worked on the back end. And yeah, man, he's a super knowledgeable guy, and super influential as well. He knows a bunch of people, so it's a great connection to have. And we're thinking of hiring him to join the team. It will be a pretty expensive hire, but I really do think it's worth it, because he not only brings like the skills to the team, but he also brings the connections. He's very well versed in the marketplace industry. Like I said, he has a lot of connections. So yeah, I think it will be a fantastic hire, but we're still in conversations. But yeah, there was definitely a high point of this week. Something a bit more little, I guess. We implemented a checkout abandonment email. So now when you go to the checkout and don't buy a service, you receive an email like reminding you to buy the service. And this might seem like super simple, but Afonso had to do like the whole back end of it, which is not that simple. But yeah, we got that done this week as well. Then the ads we were running, I told you guys last week we were running some ads, and we've been seeing a lot of how do I say this? Yeah, basically we made a lot of like small improvements based on the traffic we were getting. So for instance, we noticed that with the analytics we have, and because we're tracking everything, that a ton of people went to the sign up page and then they left. And because there was really no option to leave this sign up page. So now we added like a logo, we did some small changes to mitigate this. And this was only possible due to us tracking everything, because if you track everything, you know you can measure things, and then you can adapt and make changes that will ideally improve your situation. So that was a good thing. So yeah. Up next, yeah, another bad news, MangoPay. I talked about these guys a lot. MangoPay are our payment processor, and since day one, it was like awful to work with them. I think I've told this story in the past before, but the first like saleswoman that onboarded us, like a week later, she stopped replying. So we had like no idea what happened, and eventually I had to call them and ask, hey, what's up? So what's the status with our onboarding process? And they had to tell me that that other customer or salesperson wasn't working with them anymore. So that was our very first experience with MangoPay. As you can imagine, not the best one. And throughout like these past 4 months, it's been awful. Like the support is really bad. Customer support agents don't talk between each other. They don't really seem to care about us as a client, which is crazy. And yeah, we've been having issues with Amex, American Express, so people basically couldn't pay with Amex. And of course the banks would blame MangoPay, and MangoPay would blame the banks. And this has been going on for like 4 months. And of course, we were on top of the issue, but we couldn't be on top of it every single day because Amex is not extremely used, but it is used sometimes. And now that we're growing more, we're having more Amex payments trying to be done, and they're not going through. Eventually, now MangoPay has finally found out that it was in fact their fault. So yeah, they're trying to fix the issue. The problem is that they've said they're trying to fix the issue many times, and when they say they fix it, I always have to, because we don't have Amexes to test this out. Amex are a US-based card, and we don't have access to them. So every time we want to test this, I have to go ask my clients to make a payment on Vettted. And every single time MangoPay told me that Amex is now working, it was not. So I have to go out of my way. Actually, my clients have to go out of their way to test the cards, and they don't work. So it's been like 3 or 4 times. And just a couple hours ago, we received another email saying that, okay, so now it's finally working. We received the same email like 2 days ago, and it was not. So I would assume this is still not working, but we'll give it a go in a few hours. So that's our experience so far with MangoPay. Terrible experience, but we're kind of stuck with them. We cannot use any other product. We cannot use Stripe. We cannot use, I don't know. We've tried a bunch of products. We can't use them. So yeah, we're kind of stuck with MangoPay for now. Hopefully things will change. Then we did a bunch of generic SEO optimizations. We cleaned a couple of things on the mobile side. There were some issues on mobile. If you tried making your purchase on mobile while selecting a service package, basically the package would occupy the whole page and you couldn't buy. So yeah, we fixed a bunch of small things. Something else I've been doing is doing videos with the talent. So I did a video with Tony Peacock. He's on the homepage, and Hillary is also on the homepage. He sells Wikipedia pages. And I'm doing videos with them to basically make them more known and make the whole Vettted experience even more transparent. So we want to make sure that every single seller that we onboard has a personal brand. The ones that don't have, we will record videos with them. And of course, the ones who do have, we will record videos with them as well. So we really want to make this super personal so that any client that's buying anything from Vetted knows who's behind the screen. And they already have a bunch of data points. They have the picture, they have the social media, they have the samples if they want to know what they're buying. So it's already pretty transparent, but we want to make it even more transparent. And we will achieve this with these short interview videos. So yeah, that's something I've been doing as well. And I've scheduled yet another video to do with another seller in a few days, so that's great. Finally, we sent out our first newsletter. I called it Marketing Monday, super cliche, I know, but yeah, it was my first thought. So yeah, basically the goal with the newsletter is to every single Monday send out an email, informative email with some marketing tips as well, but also promoting new sellers, promoting coupons, promoting services, to basically every single Monday try to get some sales. So or try to push Vetted to people, and basically sending in a promotional email to people, so we can get a couple more sales, which is always good. To finish this off, we onboarded someone called William. He's like the top G of SEO. He has a huge following. So if you've been following along, we have these 2 guys on Vetted, Bradley and Tony. They all have substantial followings, and they've been leveraging their followings to buy from them on Vetted, which is amazing. So they're growing on the platform, and we're growing as well because of their following. And now this guy called William really has like a huge following, and he's agreed to come on Vetted. He's already set up some services. They're not live yet because he's making some tweaks to his thumbnails. But yeah, this will be amazing. I mean, a lot of people will come in from him, and we're thinking about making some promotions with him. So offering his following certain discounts and certain custom offers. It will be amazing because it really becomes easier to scale a marketplace when you have people like that. It's of course hard to find people like that, very hard, because it's a very specific type of person. But when you find them, people like Bradley, Tony, or William, we have such a huge advantage because they're trusted by their following. They have a personal brand and they're trusted by who follows them. So when they go to Vettted, sorry, it's inevitably people will trust the platform as well, because they trust them to be on there. So yeah, it's great. I can't wait for to have him set up his services and make him go live. It will be a great experience. So yeah, I'll update you on that next week. And yeah, that's basically it from my notes. We are still growing every week. I asked Alfonso to make some graphs. I can maybe put them here if I remind myself, or maybe next week I'll share my screen. But yeah, we are growing every week, which is great. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you to all the 50 people that watch these, and yeah, I'll see you next week. Thanks.